Sri Gurubhyo Namaha children. Welcome to Online Teaching Academy Ekalaiva. Class 11 Business Studies, and we are going to learn a lesson, Sources of Business Finance. So in the last session we have already learnt about some sources of finance such as retained earnings, trade credit and lease financing. In this session we are going to see about public deposits and issue of shares. We know very well that about the deposits with a bank. We have already learned this in the banking services lessons. So when people deposit their money or people deposit their savings in the bank will provide certain rate of interest on the deposits. Likewise, a company also can invite the people to deposit their money with the organization or with their company. That is called a public deposits. So public deposits are raised by organization directly from the public. So an organization can invite the people to deposit their money with them, and they will be providing certain rate of interest on the public deposits. Generally, the rate of interest provided by these organizations will be higher than the interest provided by the banks. So, rates of interest offered on public deposits are usually higher than that offered on bank deposits. So, the deposits are beneficial both to the depositor as well as the organization. How these public deposits are beneficial to the depositor? Because the persons who invest their savings in public deposits get higher rate of interest than the interest provided by the banks. Then how it is beneficial to the organization? They are able to raise money, and cost of raising this source of finance is cheaper than the other sources of finance. So the acceptance of public deposits is regulated by Reserve Bank of India. So anybody who wants to invest their savings in public deposits can do so by filling the prescribed form, and they will be given in written a deposit receipt in acknowledgement of the debt by the organization. Let us see the merits of public deposits. So the procedure of obtaining deposits is simple. The procedure is simple. So there are no complex formalities involved in acceptance of public deposits. As far as the company is concerned, the procedure is simple than the other sources of finance. Then cost of public deposit is generally lower than the cost of borrowings from banks and financial institutions. So cost of borrowings from banks and financial institutions. So to borrow from banks and other financial institutions, they have to pledge or mortgage their assets or securities. But this is not the case in case of acceptance of public deposits. And no charge on the assets. The company need not pledge any assets to raise this finance. And no dilution of control. Since the public deposit holders do not enjoy any right, any voting right or any right to participate in the management, the control of equity shareholders are not diluted. And there are some limitations also. It is not suitable for new companies. It is not suitable for new companies because the new companies have to create reputation and credit worthiness in the market. So it will take some time to create a trust on the minds of the people about the credit worthiness of the company. So it is not suitable for new companies. Unreliable source of finance. Since the public deposits are an unsecured source of finance, it is an unreliable source of finance for the companies because when the company needs money, that is when the company invites the public to invest their money in public deposit, the public may not respond sometimes. So, it is an unreliable source of finance. And collection of public deposits may prove difficult, particularly when the size of deposits required is large. When the size of deposits required is large, they cannot go for raising of funds through public deposits. Sometimes they may not get the required amount also. So, collection of public deposits may be difficult when the money required is large in amount. And we will move on to the next source of finance called issue of shares. We know the meaning of sharing, that is, something may be divided between two or between many members is called sharing. So, when we come to the issue of shares, here the capital obtained by issue of share is known as share capital. So, the share capital is divided into number of units and each unit is called a share. So, the capital of a company is divided into small units and each unit is called a share. Each share has its nominal value. For example, a company can issue 1 lakh shares of rupees 10 each. So, it will be getting 10 lakhs. So, 10 lakhs is the share capital amount. 1 lakh shares are issued by the company of rupees 10 each, so that a company can raise rupees 10 lakhs. So, each share has its nominal value. The person holding the share is known as the shareholder. There are two types of shares called equity shares and preference shares. So, the equity shares and preference shares, the money raised by issue of equity share is called equity share capital and the money raised by issue of preference shares is called preference share capital. Let us see one by one what is equity share, what are its merits and demerits, and what is preference share and what are its merits and demerits. So, what is equity share? See, important source of raising long term capital by a company. So, this equity shares are permanent capital and it is an important source of raising long term capital by the company. And the persons who invest in equity shares, they are called equity shareholders. These equity share represent the ownership of a company. So, these equity shareholders are the real owners of the company because the company comes into existence with the equity share capital only. That is why the equity shareholders are the real owners of the company and it represents the ownership of a company. Equity share capital is the ownership of the company. And the capital raised by issue of such share is known as ownership capital. They are the owners of the company or it is called owners funds. So, equity shareholders do not get a fixed dividend. In case of equity share, these shareholders do not get a fixed rate of dividend. What is dividend? It is a part of profit shared by the company with its shareholders. So, dividend is paid out of profits of the company. So, these equity shareholders, they do not get the fixed dividend, but they will be paid on the basis of earnings by the company. If there are higher earnings, higher rate of dividend, lower earnings, lower rate of dividend, no profit means no dividend. So, equity shareholders, they do not get a fixed rate of dividend. Equity shareholders are referred as residual owners. So, they are known as residual owners because these equity shareholders are paid dividend out of profits. Only if there is profit, they will be paid dividend. and also they will be getting their capital at the end of that is during the time of liquidation, that is at the winding up of the company also, they are the last recipient of their claims. That is why they are called residual owners. Then their liability is limited to the extent of capital contributed by them in the company. So, they have the limited liability to the extent of the capital, how much capital they have contributed, to that much only they are liable to the company. They have their right to vote. So, these equity shareholders have their right to vote, they have enjoy the voting rights and right to participate in the management also. So, they appoint the directors of the company. These equity shareholders have the right to appoint the directors of the company. That is why they have their right to vote and also they can participate in the management of the company. Equity shareholders and the merits of equity shares. Payment of dividend to the equity shareholders is not compulsory. So, there is no burden on the company to pay dividend to the equity shareholder. It is not compulsory. Only if there is profit they can be paid, and it is not compulsory also. Dividend, payment of dividend is not compulsory to the equity shareholders, and it serves as a permanent capital. So, at the time of liquidation only the capital will be repaid. Okay. So, it serves as a permanent capital. Provides credit worthiness to the company. So, maximum the equity share capital, maximum will be the benefit of credit worthiness. So, the new investors will be attracted towards the company to invest in these companies because of the high credit worthiness. So, no charge on the assets. For the issue of equity shares, the company need not pledge or mortgage its assets. So, these are the merits of equity shares. Then there are some limitations also. The cost of issue of equity shares, the cost of issue of equity shares is generally more as compared to the cost of raising funds through other sources. So, for issue of equity shares, the company has to issue prospectus and some more legal formalities they have to follow. But in case of other sources of raising finance, there are not much legal formalities are involved as compared to the issue of equity shares. So, issue of additional equity shares dilutes the voting power and earnings of the existing equity shareholders. So, in case of issue of additional equity shares dilutes the voting power and the existing equity shareholders earnings are lowered. Then more formalities and procedural delays are involved while raising funds through issue of equity shares. So that because of this procedural delays and more formalities, sometimes the company may lose the opportunity in the market. Uncertain returns to investors. So, to the equity shareholders, it is an uncertain income. So, only if there are higher profits, they will be getting higher dividend. Lower profit means lower dividend. If there are no profits means no dividend. So, there is a fluctuation of return on income for these investors. And we will move on to preference shares. So, from the name itself we can find out these shareholders are given preferences in case of dividend as well as in case of repayment of their share capital. So, the capital raised by issue of preference share is called preference share capital. The preference shareholders receive a fixed rate of dividend. So, these preference, that is why they are called preference shareholders. They are given preference in the dividend. So, they receive a fixed rate of dividend out of the net profits of the company. before any dividend is declared to equity shareholders. So, these shareholders will be paid dividend first, then only the equity shareholders will be paid their dividend. They get the priority to receive their share capital before the payment to equity shareholders is made in case of liquidation. So, at the time of winding up of the company, during the closure of the company, these preference shareholders will be paid their share capital first before it is paid to the equity shareholders. And we have some merits of preference shares. So, these preference shareholders get steady income, that is regularly they will be getting their income. There is a regularity of income in case of preference shareholders. So, the persons who wants to get regular income can invest their money in preference shares. And it is a fixed rate of return also. So, fixed rate of dividend will be paid to the preference shareholders. So, they will be getting regular income as well as fixed rate of return. And they have the preference to receive dividend. Before the equity shareholders are paid, these preference shareholders receive the fixed rate of dividend. And they have the preference to receive repayment of capital also. So, at the time of winding up, these preference shareholders will be paid first and no charge on the assets. While issue of preference shares also, the company need not pledge their assets or mortgage their assets, and no dilution of control with the equity shareholders. These preference shareholders do not enjoy any voting right and they cannot participate in the management of the managerial activities also. So, the control of equity shareholders are not diluted. There are some limitations. See, the preference shares are not suitable for those investors who are willing to take risk and are interested in higher returns. In case of equity shares, higher the return, higher will be the dividend. But in case of preference shares, only fixed rate of dividend will be paid. So, the persons who are these preference shares are not suitable for those investors who are willing to take risk. So, those who are not willing to take risk can invest in preference shares. They generally do not enjoy any voting rights. These preference shares do not enjoy any voting rights, and it dilutes the claims of equity shareholders because these preference shareholders will be paid their capital first at the time of closure of the company. So, it dilutes the claims of equity shareholders over the assets of the company. And the rate of dividend on preference shares is generally higher than the rate of interest on debentures. So, the company has to pay a higher rate of dividend which is higher than the rate of interest on debentures, and no assured return for the investors. So, only if there is profit they will be getting the dividend, as the dividend is paid only when the company earns profit. So, these are the limitations of preference shares. We have come to the end of the session, children. Thank you. To receive our online lessons, press the subscribe button and you will be getting the updated videos. Thank you, children.